Yo, it's Tapping Tuesday, the holy grail of the beat. What better day to spit gems? New York's legacy repeats. A weeknight, sit quiet, and for we it ain't dead. Ghost dog vibes, breaking it down in your head. Sit back, roll a blunt, let's elevate in style. Recollect the memory, city vibe, make it worthwhile. NFL fans gather round, we ready for the grind. This channel be my throne, leading you to unwind. Spitting facts on the mic, headphones set to the tone from the streets of the east. We making this our own.
This is a Gh0stDog mixtape original.
Yeah, it's your boy, back at it again, here with another Tap In Tuesday. Hopefully you tuned in and tapped in for the Tap In Tuesday here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. You know what time it is. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe so that way you are tapped and tuned in from when I drop the Tap In Tuesdays. You feel me? And tell a friend to tell a friend. Share, like, leave a comment. It helps us help you grow the channel so that we can give you better content. Simple mathematics, really. Oh, but now that we got the introduction aside, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, the disrespect continues and it chugs along neck and neck with the hope train. Let me tell you. And we as Giants fans, make no mistake about it, we should not, none of this is new to us. Let's be real. We've never been that team that was like, you know, we were competitive in the past for sure. We won our Super Bowls, but even when we did win our Super Bowls, at least in the most recent ones, the ones that I was most a part of, make no mistake about it, they counted us out. They was ragging on us to the moment of the start of the game, to the coin was flipped on the field. They was down on us, ragging us, just complete no kind of confidence in this ability of this team, the heart of those teams rather, of this franchise. You know, we as Giants fans are no strangers to this, but it makes me feel a certain way when I just have like these outsiders, if you will, right? Because Giants fans, we can criticize our team and be like, you know what, you right, whatever, it is what it is. It's like, you know, it's like my hometown. You can't down my hometown in front of me if you're not from my hometown. You're just gonna rub me a certain kind of way. That's just what that is. When I say hometown, I say birthplace hometown. So I can be specific on that. But that's how I feel about the New York Football Giants. So when I see these, like, you know, these analyst dudes talking down on us, I just can't help but to criticize and comment because, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinions. So I'm going to make sure I'm entitled to mine. So here we have Adam Rank of the NFL Network. He's throwing out his predictions for the NFL 2025 season for all the teams, not just the Giants specifically. He's got like a lot going on with this whole list as a whole, but we're just going to take a look at the Giants specifically because, you know, we Giants fans here. So you just hit play here real quick.
New York Giants doing, I would love to know, you got Russell Wilson, you got James.
Now he has us going 3-14. Excuse me, he has us going 4-13. All records from a mathematical standpoint, I guess, from the win-loss ratio or what have you, all records are possible. I just don't see this happening. This is mind-bogglingly, borderline asinine to down this team like this, knowing the talent that we have on this team. So let's continue.
Well, let's take a look at the schedule. It does not start off very easy. On the road,
already giving us a loss. 2 losses.
On the road against
now,
the Dallas
Cowboys I can kind of get, whatever, it is what it is, history given. But the Commanders, hey, they were a hot team last year. Nobody's taking that away from them. But we were literally in the first game for sure, they were scoring nothing but field goals. And if it wasn't for our kicker not being up to par, we would have won that match. So, again, let's continue because this guy, he really making my asshole itch. Pause.
We're 0-2. We'll be far away. Here come the Chiefs. That's going to be a loss. So 0-3 to start the season, but playing host to the LA Chargers, West Coast team traveling across the country. I'm not saying it's out of the question the Chargers will win that one, but give me a win there. Give me a win over the New Orleans Saints. You're like, all right, now we're feeling it. Maybe we've got some momentum. Unfortunately, I am looking at this stretch right here. I see the Eagles, Broncos, Eagles. I don't know who the Giants upset for here. That's loss.
Now I ain't gonna hold you. On this part, that 3-game stretch right there specifically puts a little worry in my mind. Never in my heart though. Understand the difference. That 3-game stretch right there, make no mistake about it, is going. For me, that's like the biggest mountain to climb right there. Because we have the Super Bowl reigning champions sandwiched, or rather, they're sandwiching. For me, look out for the Broncos. Second year with Sean Payton, second year with Bo Nix. That defense was doing things last year. Expect them to only be better this year. So those 3 games right there, we very well could get swept. I'm not gonna lie to you. But those first 5 games, I see us going 3-2. I see us winning against the Commanders. I see us winning against the Cowboys. I see us splitting them, if I'm not mistaken. And we're definitely gonna walk away against the Chargers and the Saints. I feel like we might slip up against KC. That'll be the game. I feel like that'll be, because I don't know. Something tells me like the Patrick Mahomes loss in the Super Bowl. I feel like there's gonna be a different energy with him, and I just, but that's all speculatory right now. We're not gonna get too crazy into that. That's where I see us though in those first 5 games. So I could definitely see the losses with the 3-game streak here, but there's no way we go 2-3 in the first 5 games. I just don't see it. And I get it. I'm not saying that these games are going to be pushover games, but people are down on this defense. They're not down on the defense specifically. Correction. They're down on the team as a whole. But the key part of this team is this defense. But we're going to continue.
The San Francisco 49ers, a team that's on the rise after a disaster last season. You got the Chicago Bears. I think they're going to be much improved this year, as I do. 2-8. You're like, the season's over. But you got the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, always prone to a weird loss every season. I will give them a win right there before a loss here. A loss to the New England Patriots. You go on the bye week. You play host to the Washington Commanders. The season's pretty much over. But you know what? The Giants always find a way. They always have some sort. It's divisional round games. That's kind of...
No, something we can agree on. At least he has us splitting with the Commanders, right? I can see us losing against Detroit. I don't see us losing against the Patriots. Green Bay, I can see us. We could win that game. As far as San Francisco, look, I just don't see them as being the same team they were a couple years ago. I think that their window that opening is real small, and I don't see them going anywhere. Point blank, period. I think they're in a little bit of a rebuild, not a major rebuild, but I don't think you could sit there and say that this team is, or that team rather, is what they were a couple years ago. You know what I mean? You could say that about any teams, obviously, but you could definitely say that about the San Francisco 49ers is what I'm saying. The Bears, shouts out to Big Pat and TP Way when they went against the Black Bear podcast dudes, man. That was a dope ass live. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check it out over here at the Aboriginal Sports Network. I'm definitely circling that calendar, and make no mistake about it, man. We busting that ass. Make no mistake about it. We're walking away from that game with a bear pelt. Okay? Bearskin rugs, front of the fireplace, cognac on deck. You hear me? And I'm going to leave it at that.
this stuff happens. But then closing out the year, loss. Unfortunately, here's the upshot here. When I look at a schedule like this, I think Malik Neighbors goes out there and has like 2,000 receiving yards because they're going to be playing from behind in a ton of games. So there we have something to root for. So listen, Giants fans, it might not be great. I have you for 4 wins, but go get Malik Neighbors on your fantasy team.
Okay, I'm done with this, dude. Look, man. Adam Rank, you know, no disrespect to his opinions and all that, but I think that's a little bit of a goofy analysis. I really think he's kind of like a victim of the past in a sense that, you know, people are really sleeping on Russ. People are acting like Russ is just like this really washed up bum. Let me tell you something. The Steelers made a mistake by letting him walk and signing Aaron Rodgers. That's how much of a difference in terms of washed upness I think are between the two. Am I saying Russ is dangerous of old? Hell no. Hell no. But if there's anything that I've seen from Danger Russ, or rather Russell Wilson these past couple seasons, is somewhat a level of involvedness and competitiveness that I don't know. I don't really see it from Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? And not to go off on a tangent on that, man, because I wish Mike Tomlin nothing but the best in Pittsburgh, but that's a whole separate conversation. Going back to the Giants, though, right? I say all this to say about Adam Rank and the NFL Network and all that stuff. Look, people are free to their opinions and all that stuff, but we need to really look at what we have here, and I get it. It's all on paper. But to say that we're just going to win 3 or 4 games and things are not going to be competitive, especially when we have this defense, which we're segueing into right now. Fam, our defense has only gotten stronger and stronger, and it's been the main reason why we've even been able to win games these past 3 to 4 seasons. Okay? Even back in that 2022 season, how many close games we needed the defense to shut that game out? And that was a season where, Kayvon Tibbs, shout out to Tibbs, kind of went off. That was his rookie season, correct. Had a little bit of flashes here and there. I remember that one game where he sealed it against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I remember that with the strip sack. I remember that. So this defense have only gotten better. Our only problem has been this offense, and that's from a major key position, and that position has been addressed moving forward at this point with 3 different players. Okay? And a starter in the Russell Wilson and a backup in a Jameis Winston. Are they the future? Absolutely not. But we got that in the reserves in the new Jack City Dart. Make no mistake about it. But we're going to get into this defense a little bit because we also have another analyst here. Shouts out to Mina Kimes because real recognize real. Right? Already coming out saying, hey, top 10 defense? Why not? With these pieces, I'll even go as far out the window as to say a top 2 defense. No bullshit. With these pieces that we have here, why not? But let's see what Mina Kimes has to say.
I was thinking I have to come with a curveball, and I thought that was too absurd. I cannot sell this because I did the same thing. I'm like, and Abdul Carter, like, they're just going to give hell to everybody. But I was like, but a top 10 defense, I guess it's possible, but yeah, I consider it.
Why the guess, though? Why the guess? We as Giants fans know what that question mark or that guess might be, or rather what it is. He might as well, but I understand. But the guess, it's just, for me, it's more probable than unlikely. But we're gonna continue here.
They also added some players in the back end that I think could stabilize things. Javon Holland at safety, Paulson Adebo. Drew Phillips is really good. I really like the combination of Javon Holland and Tyler Nubin together because I think you can have Nubin playing close to the box where he's better, personally. But check out that. This is all about the front. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence.
I'm about to cut her off. She's right. The acquisition of those back-end pieces, pause, are going to be pivotal. Major key to this defense. I don't need them in the back end with those positions, specifically with the safeties and the corners. I don't necessarily need them to be top 3 in the league, but I do need them to be at least top 10 or within that range of 10 and 15. We have to be at the very least, middle of the pack in that defensive backfield. We just have to be. I would want more. I really want more. Make no mistake about it. I want these dudes to be out there playing like monsters. But I have to temper my expectation just a bit because the question mark remains. We Giants fans, we know what the question mark, the guess is. We're going to get into that after we're done here with Mina Kimes, though.
Kayvon Thibodeau. It's a nightmare.
Super nightmare.
And they're deep. I like the D tackles they have. They drafted Darius Alexander as well. You bring in Chauncey Golston. Every year there's a defense where the pass rush just goes nuclear, and I feel like, why not the Giants? Why am I crazy to have them at 10?
I think maybe it's just because they're the Giants, but
And they were awful last year.
Yeah,
Dexter Lawrence.
yeah, that's a fair point. And I mean, this does feel like maybe it points out how I in the past would have overvalued defensive fronts and would believe that if your front can be dominant.
Now she has us as number 10. This might be my bias talking a little bit here. But F all that, I do not care. Bias is 10 toes down, right? There should be no reason why this defense can't be in the top 3 conversation. I'll even go say top 2 potential. This defense could be apocalyptic with this 7-man front going on over here. Dexter Lawrence, Darius Alexander next to him, with a Jordan Riley in reserve, Brian Burns on one side, Kayvon Thibodeau on the other, and Abdul Carter all the way in on the mix. Fabio in the middle, leading the way, right? Mike McFadden right next to him as his right hand. Okay? We got the 2 CBs, Banks on one side, Adebo on the other, right? And we got those 2 safeties in the back, and a Nubin, and in your man's Javon Holland. All right? Should be no reason why this defense ain't getting crazy this year. Apocalyptic, as I said, the 4 horsemen. Dexter Lawrence is 1, Fabio is 2, Burns is the 3rd, but Javon Holland, can he be the 4th? That's the question. And the question mark attached to that, and the guess is Shane Bowen. Shane Bowen. But before we get into Shane Bowen, there was an article that I came across about Javon Holland. And it was shouts out to Patricia Traynor, man. She does great work, man. I'm always tuned in with some of the stuff that she be saying. She does great stuff. But apparently, I was reading on the article, an unnamed source, if you will. There's always that one unnamed source, right? Who got, they just feel the need to say something. So he goes on to say, because she goes on to say, talks about, the deal. One such example of the deal that we gave with Javon Holland to sign him from Miami. One such example was New York Giants safety John Holland. Holland signed a 3-year, $45.3 million contract this past offseason, which translates to $15.1 million per annum. While the APY matches the market value Spot Track had for him, their deal was based on a 4-year, $60.57 million deal for the former Dolphins safety. That kind of deal appears to be too rich for an unnamed NFL personnel director who shared his opinion with ESPN's Jeremy Fowler in a piece ranking the top safeties league-wide ahead of training camp. And he goes on to say, the unknown source, the unknown personnel director. I still love the skill set, but he drastically regressed last year, which was shocking to see from a young player in a contract year. The unnamed executive said. But did he really, or did Holland's regression come about thanks to how he was deployed in the Dolphins defense? In 15 games, Holland posted a career low 62 tackles. He also had 2 tackles for loss and 2 quarterback hits, the second lowest totals in each category in his career. All of this despite playing in 91% of the Dolphins' defensive snaps last season. The second highest total he's played in since 2022, his second season. Now, Patty Traynor goes on to say that he has played in 3 defensive systems and that the one that he was most productive in was the Brian Flores system. Okay? Major key. You can check out this article at Sports Illustrated. Shouts out to Patty Traynor, as I said. But as I was saying, he flourished in a Brian Flores type system. Brian Flores relies on a lot of blitz packages, very exotic blitzes and whatnot. But the main thing he does in the back end, which is, from what I've learned, is a little unconventional, is that he runs a lot of zone scheme with his DBs. Right? Now we know, right, because that's major key. Because again, the question mark for me is, can Javon Holland be that 4th horseman of the apocalyptic defense of the New York Football Giants? Can he be that person in the backfield for us? Brian Flores ran a lot of zone. Shane Bowen does the same. So in reality, it goes on to the very, for me, it always goes back to the coaching, the development of the players, the coaching. Front office, what are they doing with the assets that they acquire to make them better, to make this organization be successful? So Shane Bowen, it is all on you. You got the keys, my man. And we got the ride souped up and ready to ride. Ready to go. So Shane Bowen, can you have Javon Holland be the 4th horseman of this apocalyptic defense? That's the question. That's the guess. Because once we got that down packed, the offense has to do bare minimum. And with a Russell Wilson not nearly as washed as an Aaron Rodgers, behind a decent O-line, which is major key, with these weapons on offense, man, listen, should be no reason why we can't not only be competitive in some of these games, we should absolutely be able to dominate in some of these games. I've gone on long enough though. This is another Tap In Tuesday. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to Aboriginal Sports Network, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have so many dope content creators on this channel, from a Big Pat Sports to a NYG Unpopular Opinion Sports, Coach Ed Gladney's, TP Way the Giant, Sometimes Defiant, Rob Zero, Leaf Diggy. The names go on and on. Man Cave, you know what it is, man. And you know what time it is. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Simple mathematics, follow the science. Help us help you to get better content. Right? And if you haven't done so, subscribe to all of our main channels as well. Mine's is Gh0stDog's Big Talk with a 0 in the Ghost. On the road to 100. We hopefully we'll get there one day. The hope train chugs along, as they say, right? Or as I like to say. But again, man, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, hit the like. Clock continues to tick away, man. We about what, like a week now? Week maybe in some change, not even, yeah, like a week now away. Week maybe in a couple of days away from official training camp. Less than a month away from official preseason. Oh man, I just cannot wait to see what these dollars got to say when we out here punching people in the mouth, causing all sorts of rude awakenings. But I say let them sleep. Gh0stDog out. Peace.
Yo, it's happened Tuesday, the holy grail of the beat. What better day to spit gems? New York's legacy repeats. A weeknight, sit quiet, and for we it ain't dead. Gh0stDog vibes, breaking it down in your head. Sit back, pull a blunt, let's elevate in style. Recollect the memory, city vibe, make it worthwhile. NFL fans gather round, we ready for the grind. This channel be my throne, leading you to unwind. Spitting facts on the mic, headphones set to the tone from the streets of the east. He making this our own. Tapping out Tuesday, but only for a while. Goodbye Tuesday, a pill now hard to swallow. Hit that like button and don't forget to follow. I'll be back soon, shit, it might be tomorrow.
This is a Gh0stDog mixtape original.